Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to sky.
Hey everyone, Owlvine here. So I'm really happy today. We have finally had a cool change. Here it's been like 30, 32, 36, just really hot. That's Celsius. I'm sorry, usually I look up the Fahrenheit for all you Fahrenheiters, but I haven't today, so you'll just have to look that up. Like 36 degrees Celsius. Today it's 15 degrees. It's amazing. It's still quite warm, but it's grey and overcast, and there's like heaps of rain, and it's just amazing. I thought the lighting was going to be really bad today for video, but it seems okay. I don't know. I've forgotten what it's like. You know when you're like in the middle of a season and it's almost like you can't remember what it's like to be in the opposite season. Today when I got in the car early this morning to drop my husband off to the train station, I was just like, oh, I remember winter. I love winter. In this weather, I just feel like this surge of energy. It may be a lot to do with just the fact that it's a change. Oh man, I'm feeling so much better today. And I'm just like, I'm going to make videos and I'm going to like just do all this stuff that I've been meaning to do for ages. When it's so hot, I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to like sit around and just hibernate. Anyway, so I'm feeling energetic today. So I've had a few requests for a video on grounding, and as this is something that I love doing and I'm quite passionate about for my own practice, I was like, hell yeah, let's do this video. So I'm going to kind of just tell you how I ground and why it's important to sort of ground. I think it's important to ground because it brings you into reality fully. Now, some people are like, oh, but I want to be off in the clouds and be dreamy and whatever. I don't think that grounding allows you not to do this. I think that grounding gives you a solid space to do that from. For me, when I ground, it really, it stops me being so scattered, and it allows me to really focus on what it is that I'm wanting to focus on. So it kind of gives you a great base to kind of build from, or to go off into the stars from. And it sort of, it taps you into, I would say, like actual reality. A lot of the time we're in our own heads and we're creating all these stories, and a lot of them aren't true, a lot of them aren't real, and if we stay up there in these kind of spaces, it's difficult to do any of the things that we really want to do or to have the experiences that we want to. So it's really important to ground. Now, I have a lot of scattered energy quite naturally. When I say quite naturally, it's something that has been developed over years of my life, most of my life. So for me, grounding is a really important practice. Otherwise, I've created these mental pathways in my mind of being quite a scattered person, like being here, being there, being everywhere, worrying, stressing, all that kind of stuff. So to ground and to center each morning is very, very important for me. So what I do first is I always center myself when I'm sitting down to ground. So for me, what that means is gathering my energy in. Now there's lots of different ways to do this. The way I often like to do it is to imagine energetic tendrils being out everywhere. All my energetic tendrils, being in over here, thinking about this and worrying about this thing and being in the future and projecting and whatever. And I imagine reaching out to all of those and bringing them all into me. The other way I like to do this is through breath. So, breathing in and out deeply and imagining just coming further into myself each time that I breathe out. Coming more deeply in. Another thing I like to do is just feel every single part of my body. So I like to close my eyes at that time and just feel my toes, my legs, my feet, feel my bottom sitting on the ground. Just feel all the different parts of my body, and that really brings awareness fully into yourself. And another thing you can do is listen to sounds. So once you feel like you are in a centered place, you are right here, listen to sounds happening around you and outside of you. The way I've practiced is to start by listening to any sounds immediately around you. So if there's any sounds happening in the room or the next room or the house, and then going outside and hearing what you can hear out there, and then slowly coming back in again. And that's another way to really center as well. So once you feel centered, once you feel gathered, once you feel in the here and now, then it's time to ground. So there are lots of different ways to do this as well. One thing that I like to do is, again, with visualization, said it, is imagine roots coming out from underneath me. So usually I sit down when I ground. It's just what I prefer to do, but you can stand, you can do a handstand, I don't know, you can do whatever you want to do. Usually it's sit or stand. Sometimes I'm sitting at my desk as well, so I imagine whatever part is connected to the ground is where the roots are coming from personally. But I've heard of people having like a tap root coming from their spine. If they're standing up still, they'll imagine a root going down into the earth from their spine and going from there. So whatever part of me is touching the ground, I imagine roots, or I visualize roots coming out of there. And my roots are usually like an ethereal kind of blue colour, something you'd see in Avatar, you know, that kind of colour. That's just what works for me. So I imagine those going deeply down into the earth, and I sit with that visualization for a while, and then I focus on my breath. I focus on breathing out all the stuff that I want out to be transformed and transmuted in the ground. And then I imagine with my indrawn breath bringing up nutrients and energy from the earth. And I kind of just focus on that for a while until I'm feeling that kind of groundedness. Sometimes what I also do is I'll kind of visualize and project out and kind of see myself as this little tree figure with roots tapped into the earth, and kind of visualize the earth as a whole, you know, being a part of the all, being grounded in that kind of reality, you know, being part of everything. Another fantastic thing for grounding is crystals, wearing crystals or carrying around crystals. These are two that I'm wearing at the moment. I've got red jasper and garnet in here. There are many, many different crystals that are really good for grounding, and they may not be what books say about it too. Like if you pick up a crystal and you feel like it's a grounding crystal, you know, it sort of gives you that kind of feeling, then wear it, carry it around with you as well if you feel like you're needing a little bit of an extra boost. Another thing is working with colour. So some people can find red very grounding, you know, that's the colour of the base chakra, sort of typically, or any sort of darker colours can feel very grounding as well. So wearing them, or, you know, painting your nails that colour, just having those colours around you for that day, you know, maybe you could carry around something that is that colour to kind of help you feel grounded and give you that focus. I find for me, like, you know, I do this centering and grounding each morning, and then I carry around these crystals to remind me that I am grounded as well, or to bring me back to that focus when I need it to. That can be really helpful. You know, a lot of us live quite stressful and busy lives. It's very important to be grounded so that you can focus on what it is that you need to do and not feel overwhelmed. I find that when I am just bringing myself back to that space, that I feel like, you know what, I can do this. And then I do each task from here and now. I am here right now. All I am doing is this one thing. Once that's done, moving on to the next thing. And that's kind of the beauty of grounding. You know, it keeps you in that kind of mental headspace, or it helps you to anyway. So this has been some stuff about my grounding practice and how to ground. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below. I hope you're all having a marvelous week, and I will see you in the next video. So much love.